Good morning, students. Today we'll be talking about Niti Aayog. So, till the last class, we were dealing with the different committees which were involved in the health plan, development, and planning, etc., from our almost pre independence era. And coming to after the committees, we had this planning commission which introduced the 5-year plan, and the improvement and development took place during these 5-year tenures, though it was not a very continuous process. And then in the last class I told you from the first plan to the 11th plan what were all the major changes occurring. And here today in this class we are going to just know again a brief history of Planning Commission and how Niti Aayog came into after Modi's government took over, and basics of Niti Aayog, and then the structure, function and role, and key differences between Planning Commission and Niti Aayog, work and achievements of Niti Aayog in a nutshell. Though the country and the people may be divided into different states for the convenience of administration, the country is one integral whole. Its people are single people living under a single imperium derived from a single source. This Dr. B.R. Ambedkar told this, and then this means in a country like ours, there is unity in diversity. We have different states and different traditions and culture, and they are at different levels of development. For example, states like Kerala or highly 100% literacy is there, and we have some states like Jharkhand, Orissa, and Bihar where there is socioeconomic condition is also not up to the mark, and they are a bit backward. And as I was telling you, the Planning Commission was first initiated in India in 1938 by the then Congress President and Indian National Army Supreme Leader Netaji Subhash Chandra Bose. And Sir M. Vishwesvaraya was elected head of the Planning Committee. He was asked to step down as it was felt planning needed a reciprocity between science and politics. So he willingly got down from his post. Then who took over? Jawaharlal Nehru was made the head of the committee, and after India achieved independence, Planning Commission was established on 15th of March in 1950 as Jawaharlal Nehru as the chairperson. Planning Commission was an institution formed on March 15th, 1950 by Government of India. It was established in accordance with Article 39 of the Constitution, which is a part of Directive Principles of State Policy. And as I told you, it formulated India's 5-year plans. And now we will try to know why does India need a change from Planning Commission to Niti Aayog? Why at all the Prime Minister and his team felt there is a need to change. So before that, we should know what is Niti Aayog. Niti Aayog is formed via executive action by the Union Cabinet on January 1st, 2015. It is a Government of India think tank policy. It is a non-statutory body. The stated aim for Niti Aayog's creation is a foster involvement and participation in the economic policy making process by the same Government of India, by the state Government of India. One of the important mandates of Niti Aayog is to bring cooperative, competitive federalism. So we'll just try to know what it means. And to improve the center-state relation. We have so as I told you, many different states, and the Niti Aayog is meant to see that there is good cooperation and competition in between the states in our country. For the, as we believe, strong states means a strong nation. And the basic features are, Niti Aayog basically represents the economic interest of state governments and also union territories of India, which the previous planning commission structure lacked. So it is the representing the economic interest of all the state governments and UTs. Instead of being in a controlling seat, it is going to be a provider of both directional and policy inputs. So it's not controlling, it is just providing the direction and the policy inputs to different states. Niti blocks provide public access to articles, field reports, as well as published opinions of the officials. So it is transparent. Every citizen through these things can know what exactly is happening in our country. It is an important evolutionary change in Government of India policy think tank. And what Niti Aayog did, it replaced one-way flow of policies from center to state. It became bidirectional. Policies with central state partnerships became more in vogue. And then now we should know, when we have one system, why we wanted to change it to Niti Aayog. And there is a need to change in policy framework, as India has changed over the last 65 years after our independence, and the changes are in demography, economic condition, growth, development, open and competitive markets, and flow of information. That is, the population, there is a lot of change, the economic conditions have changed, there is a growth and then development in the country, and we have introduced the introduction of the international market, and it is a open competitive market. We have foreign direct investment, FDI, which is helpful for the development of our country, and there is flow of information because of the development of the 4G and 3G and other communication improvements, technology development. Flow of information is very quick and easy. And now we will try to know what were the changes over the 65 years. When it is talking about the demography, population of 135 crore from 40 crores in 1950. So population was only 40 crores in 1950. Now it is 135 plus crore population of is our country's population. And youth make the major chunk of the population. Majority of population are in the age group of 35. That is, we have lot of scope for development. And as we know, the wealth of the country is the youth. For everyone, it is the youth or the age where we can be productive. People are migrating from rural to urban areas. That means industrialization and other things are improving more. And coming to economy, GDP was 10,000 crore in 1950, and now it is 100 lakh crore mark we have touched. and 12th plan size is rupees 43 lakh crore from rupees 2400 crore in first 5-year plan, and annual budget is of rupees 17.77 lakh crore. So that is, there is a vast improvement. The figures are totally more than doubled. In fact, it is multiplied. And coming to the states, we have, as I told you, different categories and a few newly formed states, union territories. So one size fits all approach doesn't work in a country like India. You can't apply the single rule to all the states. And every state has its own requirement. The needs are varying from state to state. And number of states have increased a lot from the time 65 years ago and now. Technology, there is change in technology. We are working on 3G and 4G networks. There is an easy flow of information and data is available by the click of the finger. Moving from public to private enterprise. What has happened with liberalization? Private sector is playing the major role in development. We have so many, for example, different airlines. Initially, it was only Air India which was functioning. And we have moved from nationalized banks to private and payment banks. So, banking system has also changed a lot. And very clearly we can say Niti Aayog is based on the pillars of democracy. Why? It is pro-people. So, Niti Aayog aims at fulfilling aspirations of individual as well as the society. And proactivity. In anticipation and in response to citizens' needs, actions are proactive. Participation. Involvement of citizenry, that is, people are made to involve in the development of their area or their district or their village. That is, on the whole, the country development depends on every individual. Empowering. And women empowerment is given a lot of importance. Beti Bachao, Beti Padhao is one such movement which is increasing, and as we can see, the women are more educated, getting more educated. They are in almost all the fields. Still the difference is there, but definitely we are moving towards empowering women. And inclusion of all, that is SC, ST, OBC, Garib, Gaon and Kisan example, all everywhere we want to include all in the making up of the country's development. Equality. Equal opportunity for all, especially the youth. And transparency. Making government visible and responsible. As I told you, whatever the activities are taking place, if you are interested, we can know about it. So it is a transparent way of dealing with the activities of the government. So what are the things, the objectives Niti Aayog wants to achieve? Fostering cooperative federalism. That is, I told you in the first slide itself, what do we mean by cooperative federalism? That is, there is active involvement of the states. There is interstate cooperation. Suppose there is development, see, we'll see so many activities are interdependent from state to state, and there should be cooperation in achieving these things. For example, the transport and then the distribution of the water, etc. Formulation of plans at village level, aggregation at higher level. Like our primary health care, here from the grassroots level, there is the involvement of the flow of the ideas and then implementation of the activities. So from every grassroots level, we are trying to improve. It's not just somebody is sitting in an AC room and then planning and then it is being implemented at a remote place. Special attention to section at risk of not benefiting adequately from economic progress. So they are identified, the lacunae or try to know, we know, and then we try to seal them. So the weaker sections or the sections at risk are being identified, and then the action is taken to see that there is adequate economic progress. And economic policy that incorporates national security interests. So national security interest is given top priority, and all the economic policies are seen that we try to achieve the national security. Feedback for constant innovative improvements. So as I told you, transparency is visible and responsive. Government is responsive. And what is cooperative federalism? Active involvement of the states and cooperation between the states. And from the grassroots level, we are starting the development. We are involving the minute micromanagement to macro management is taking place. And feedback for constant innovative improvements is always there. And partnerships with national and international think tank, creating a knowledge, innovation and entrepreneurial support system. Platform for resolution of interdepartmental issues. State-of-the-art resource center for research and good governance. So it is we have refinement in whatever we are trying to do, and we are maintaining a resource center for research and good governance. Focus on technology upgradation and capacity building. So whatever the recent technologies are there, we are trying to see that we upgrade our system, and then we have the human hands. We are training them so that we can build our working force also. And this is the structure. I'll talk to you about it. There we have the chairperson. Our Prime Minister is the chairperson, and governing council is there. And this consists of this different CMs of the different states and lieutenant governors of the union territories and regional councils. This is, as I told you, from the grassroots. We are trying to involve different regions, and it is formed on need base, comprising CMs and lieutenant governors of the region. And members, full-time basis, we have members, and part-time members also, maximum 2, rotational, they are on rotation, and from relevant institutions, and ex officios in members, maximum 4 from Council of Ministers nominated by the Prime Minister. Special invitees, experts, specialists, practitioners with domain knowledge, they are as invited as special invitees. And then we have the CEO, Chief Executive Officer. He is being appointed by Prime Minister for a fixed tenure, and secretary rank, and secretariat will be established as deemed necessary. So this is the composition: chairperson, governing council, regional councils, members, part-time members, ex officio members, and then special invitees and CEO and the secretariat. And as I told you, it was started in 2015, May 15th, and within 1 year, what were the activities taken up by Niti Aayog? I'm not discussing till now. If you are interested, you can just know there are so many different aspects where Niti Aayog is involved. In the 1 year, roadmap for revitalization, midterm appraisal of the 12th plan, and Make in India strategy for electronic industry, national energy policy, so like solar energy and the eco-friendly things are involved more, and national regulatory reform bill, roadmap on poverty elimination, and Niti Aayog has advised states on land leasing, labor laws and land records, sustainable development strategies for the northeast and hilly areas. These are a few of the 1 year activities taken up by Niti Aayog. And this is the list of the present members. CEO right now is Amitabh Kant, and special invitees are Nitin Gadkari, Smriti Irani and Thawar Chand Gehlot. We'll know a bit about the function and roles of Niti Aayog. This is to evolve a shared vision of national development with the active involvement of the states. So it is something like this. మనము ఒక కథ ఉంటుందన్నమాట, ఓ కట్టెల వాడిది. సో ఒక్కొక్క కట్టేస్తే నువ్వు విరగొట్టగలవు, అన్నీ కలిపి దాన్ని ఒక మోపుగా చేసినప్పుడు దాన్ని విరగొట్టలేము. ద సేమ్ వే హియర్ వాట్ ఈస్ ఎయిమ్డ్ ఈస్ టు సీ దట్ వీ హ్యావ్ ది స్ట్రాంగ్ bunch of the states, thereby the country is strong. To develop credible plans at the village level and aggregate these at higher levels of government. As I told you, they want to deal the grassroots level management as in our primary health care. సబ్ సెంటర్ నుంచి మొదలుపెట్టినట్టుగా అన్ని విలేజెస్ని ఇన్వాల్వ్ చేసుకుంటూ దే ఆర్ ప్లానింగ్. To foster cooperative federalism with the states on a continuous basis. And it's not just ఈరోజు మీతో మాట్లాడేసాం అయిపోయింది అని కాకుండా, it's a continuous process where the cooperative federalism is encouraged and recognizing that strong states make a strong nation. To focus on technology upgradation and implementation of programs and initiatives. To encourage partnerships between national and international like-minded think tanks as well as educational and research institutions. To create innovation and entrepreneurial support system through national and international experts. To pay special attention to the sections of our society that may not be adequately benefiting from economic progress. To offer a platform for resolution. It is, I'm repeating the points again so that it becomes easy for you to remember. Resolution of interdepartmental issues, to maintain a state-of-the-art resource center, to actively monitor the implementations of programs and initiatives, and to undertake activities necessary for national development agenda. Now we'll try to know what are all the major differences between our previous planning commission and then the Niti Aayog. And the parameters are financial power, full-time members, part-time members, and role of the states, member secretary, and then the approach. Coming to the approach, in Niti Aayog, it is bottom to up, like village level, district level, state level, and then the center. The information is flowing two ways. Whereas in the planning commission, decision was taken at the center or the planning commission level, and the orders were flowing down. And coming to the financial power, the Planning Commission enjoyed the powers to allocate funds to ministries and state governments. Like they want to have a project. Even the funding, how much it is needed, how it will be distributed, everything was finalized by the Planning Commission. Whereas coming to Niti Aayog, it is only an advisory body or a think tank. The powers to allocate funds might be vested in the Finance Ministry. It is with the government itself. And then coming to the Planning Commission, the last commission had 8 full-time members, whereas in Niti Aayog there are full-time members could be fewer than the Planning Commission. Now we have 3 full-time members, and then part-time members. The Planning Commission had no provision for part-time members. It was only all were full-time members. And then whereas in Niti Aayog, we have a number of part-time members depending on the need from time to time. The state's role was limited to National Development Council and annual interaction during plan meetings in Planning Commission, whereas state governments are expected to play a more significant role than they did in the Planning Commission when it comes to Niti Aayog. And earlier, government secretaries or members were appointed by the Planning Commission, whereas to be known as the CEO, he is the secretary, he is appointed by the PM, and then secretary, if the role is improving, there will be a chance for development and establishment of a secretariat. So these are the major differences between Niti Aayog and the Planning Commission. Coming to the achievements and accomplishments of the Niti Aayog, compared to Planning Commission, which was 64 years old when replaced by Niti Aayog, which is in infancy, Niti Aayog is just coming up, it's budding. But the expectations from a high-profile institution, irrespective of its age, are always high. Naturally, some may say it is an old wine in the new bottle, and some may expect a lot of things from the recent born child. Some of its achievements in this 2 year of the working are on innovation and entrepreneurship, on infrastructure and energy sector, on cooperative federalism and agricultural development, digitalization movement, increase in FDI. We have heard a lot about the bullet train and then smart city, etc. So many things which are all part of the development or taking India towards the being the leader of the world. And as you know, whenever a new thing is coming, there will be criticism and also there are many challenges. Sustaining a growth of 7.5% when there is global slowdown shows that implementation of Niti Aayog is on the right track. That means as they have started, they are on the correct path. However, critics of this new setup criticized it and some termed it as an old wine in a new bottle. As I told you, इसमें क्या difference है? It is the same thing we are planning. But the implementation of the governance, there is difference. Though some critics have also argued positively in its favor. Some of the criticism and challenges faced by Niti Aayog intended an extra constitutional body, contradictory vision, not obligatory, biased nature, practical implementation till date limited only to some states. So, way forward, what can be done to overcome these challenges? So, etlaga handle chestaru enti anedi we have to wait and watch. In conclusion, however, it is too early to comment on the efficacy of the new institution related to planned development. Something is possible when it shifts gears and moves into cooperation very seriously. However, present move to decentralized planning and allowing inputs from state to guide it appears to be a positive and effective step. But Niti Aayog will always remain a hotbed political topic with ambiguous opinions. Thank you.